Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be continuing our How to Bruise series, and we've landed upon Artanis. So, pulling up the list here, you can see I have Artanis in the tanky damage category up there in the top. Which means he lacks in wave clear, and this is what holds Artanis back from being the best bruiser in the game, because he has multiple builds that allow him to draft to be a tanky monster against spell damage, a very good trader against physical damage, and he's able to absolutely own both camps and heroes in a 1v1 scenario. Now, the issue, like I said, is you get overwhelmed by wave clear. So you do not want to be drafting Artanis on maps that have a lot of lanes to be clearing. So things like Garden Terror and what's the other big one? Cursed Hollow. Those are maps that we don't want to be drafting Artanis on. But maps where it's 1v1 focused, like Braxis, can work because you can win the solo lane. Dragonshire is good because you're typically just doing solo lane and top lane. So things like that will be more favorable for Artanis. But if we get into a double soak scenario, it's not going to be great. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead, jump into the game. Hopefully I'll be able to show you how to play Artanis so you'll get a better grasp on him in your games. Here we go. Alright, and we find ourselves on the Warhead Junction today, which is a pretty large map, which does require a decent bit of wave clear, but thankfully we have a Sylvanas, Probius, and Abathur, who all do very well at picking up the slack of my bad wave clear. As always in these videos, we're going to talk about the builds and talents at the end of the video, so stick around to the end if you want to learn more about that. But general rule of thumb at level 1, you pick up Protector of Ire in most of your situations, unless you really need the armor from your basic attacks, or you're on a map like Battlefield of Eternity and you want to burst down both camps and the objective. But we're going to go for Protector of Ire. We are the solo frontline on our team. Well, we do have a Kerosene healer, but we have to be slightly careful about when we're going in and pick our engagements only in a favorable manner. Gonna just try to get in on this backline as much as possible, because that is Artanis' strong suit. He's meant to be in the enemy team's face, blowing up heroes in the backline and mispositioning them as well. Oh, I'm missing my swap there. I wanted to hit the Nova because I figured I'd demech the Diva. Pick up a couple regen globes, and honestly, a good first brawl. I think they lost 1.5 heroes and we lost 2, but I got a couple of stacks, which is good. No point in me going up here and fighting. This would just lose my precious HP, and I care more about my HP than anything. Now that they're overextended slightly, I could go in. I'm missing my swap there. I was trying to hit it before Diva, or as Diva was using her mech. Now we got to try to regain some vision control. So typically, like I said before, you want to kind of be in your own area, in your own lane, duoing one hero, or soloing one hero, I should say. If we can bait them a little bit closer into towers here, we can do a reverse swap, which is where you Q backwards and E forward very quickly. It's difficult to do, but whenever you pull it off, enemies never expect it, and it really just ruins their day. I'm trying to ping for my ally here, and then I might look for a rotation. Like I said, our wave clear is horrible, but getting picks isn't bad. But I'm just going to be responsible in every circumstance as the bruiser. Mostly every circumstance. It's almost always the right play to just soak the minion wave, or just get the experience wherever it's most readily available. I'll come up here because I think they might go through the tunnels to attack my Probius, and I would like to be able to protect him if that's the case. So yeah, we're going to come through here. I should have been checking if Nova was coming through. Doesn't look like she was. Trying to hit him with the reverse swap, but he has the movement speed, so we're not able to do that. Now I need to go down, soak up this minion wave that's going to be spawning in, and try to keep us even on XP. You can see our hero damage, very good in this early game. And that's most likely going to be the same theme that we'll have throughout the entirety of this game. Land a little swap on this guy. You don't have to land the full swap to get the full value. You can just do the little cheeky just use your E, and you'll still get good value off of that. Uh-oh, Hanzo's here. Aw. So, just like with my Dahaka video, just like with my Sonya video, what separates a good Artanis from a bad Artanis is an Artanis that can land his swaps. If you're landing your swaps, you're going to have a very good time, and if you're missing them, not so much. I was hoping they'd step forward a little bit there. Additionally, you gain your shielding, your tankiness, by auto-attacking. So we do have a slight case of Greymane Syndrome. It's not as bad as some heroes, but it is a slight case of it, where we want to be consistently auto-attacking to get the cooldown reduction on our shield, and that way we can trade favorably into the enemy team. A little bit late on that ping. You can really see, compared to Dahaka, compared to Sonya, our wave clear is just abysmal. Absolutely atrocious on how slow it is. Try to regain some vision control and ping that this hero will be in danger soon. Looks like Karazim will run through it, and I would love to mess him up. There we go, we found him. Trying to stick with him here. I don't think we'll get this kill because he has so many dashes, but nonetheless, we were able to get some good damage out there on him, get some stacks rolling, and maybe we can do something to his Hanzo friend. So freezing a minion wave is never a bad idea. That's what I'm going to do right here in the mid lane. Just kind of freeze it so it's a little more favorable for me. And this way, if the Hanzo wants to soak this experience, he has to come closer and closer to me. While those minions kill themselves, I'm going to just go ahead, try to regain the vision control, but doesn't look like we'll be able to. And Hanzo is missing out on experience right now. He picked up a little bit there, which upsets me, but keeping the minion wave here, trying to just make it so Hanzo is gankable and I am not gankable. Unfortunately, the Hanzo player knows how to do it, so he's not overextending at all. And he has his splash zone shot, so we'll just make sure we're getting the regen globes. Watching the gank because we are slightly gankable currently. But I want to fight him so bad. Probably a bad timing on the sippy cup, but I want to do other things on the map. I'm sick of just standing still. So Artanis, another thing he's great at is he's very good against auto attack heroes. So things like Greymanes, Zul'jins, Butchers, Valas, Illidan's, all those heroes he absolutely obliterates. Oh, I thought I had my E up. And the reason he does this is because of his ultimate ability, Suppression Pulse. Very strong ultimate ability. I would recommend you pick it up in almost every circumstance. However, in a circumstance that you want to pick it up is whenever you are kind of the man that needs to be getting it done for your team. There's a nice swap. There we go. If the enemy team is squishy and they don't have a whole lot of basic attack damage, you can go for Purifier Beam, which I'm kind of debating doing right now. Oh, goodness me. Both of the Karazims using their abilities at the same time. I'm very overextended here, and I think Nova's still here. So yeah, I'll die for this. Unfortunate. I misplayed that horribly. But still not picking my ultimate because I don't know what I want. I died, so I can now look on what kind of damage they're dealing. That's basic attack. That's one shot. The Karazim heals are there, but he's damage build. I don't know. We're probably just going to go for Purifier Beam. It'll allow me to really, if I land a swap, I'm just going to be able to kill the heroes. Now, the biggest power spike for, I believe, any build on Artanis is your level 13 talent tier. So fighting for level 13 as quick as possible is going to be a very big play. We'll capture this vision here and then decide if we want to gank bottom or just take top lane. Looks like we're going to just take top lane. Take the tunnel to go there. and try to help out the friendly team. Oh, the darn movement speed of him. And, I mean, we lost nothing there, so that's good, but I definitely played that poorly, and I feel like we could have got a lot more done had I landed my swaps. Like I said, that's what's going to separate you. Separate a good Kharazim or a good Artanis from a bad Artanis is one that's landing his swap ability. Missing my swap, I wanted to get in on the Nova there, but the enemy team is very grouped, so it's making it difficult for me to do that. Picking up my biggest power spike, as we mentioned earlier, which is very nice. Aw, she barely got it off. Get over here. Come on. Oh, that might be overkill. Alright. I had to shut up and focus once again for that fight. But what we did there is we're basically using the cooldown reduction we get from our level 13 talent to abuse our swaps, which are slowing enemies and granting us armor. And it's allowing us to just stay in these fights for a very long time. Nova is the only one alive on the enemy team, but I can't remember if that's just because she respawned or why. We do see her in the bottom lane though, and I think that's where I'm gonna want to mosey on over to. So we're gonna head down that way. Let's see if she stays. See what her plan is. She does have bribe stacks. There we go. We were able to find her, get the kill. And now I think I can trade favorably into this fight. Using my Q to get out of there. Alright, unfortunate that D.Va showed up too. Oh, almost getting my cooldown reduction off. You can see though, 3v1, I know Abba started there for a little bit. 3v1, we messed up those two heroes, and had the D.Va not shown up, we would have been able to win that skirmish, I believe. Nonetheless, we got both of the nukes, all two of them. And we're able to get good damage out there. Kharazim going crazy as well and getting a kill. Hopefully he can get out with his life. If Probius comes close enough, there we go. Able to dash away and stay alive. The whole enemy team is well, not the whole enemy team. I guess some of them are dead, but we were missing a decent bit of them. I suppose some of them had to base because of the damage we did earlier to them. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but Artanis has some of the best wave camp clear in the game. So we'll go ahead and clear this quickly. It's not particularly incredibly fast, but it is very consistent in the fact that you won't lose more health than 75%, because that's when your shields start to kick in at 75% when you're below there. So you'll be able to keep that shielding the whole time and stay very healthy. You can see I took that camp rather quickly in general. Maybe we'll look for a swap here. If we land a swap, we'll hopefully get a kill now that we're past level 13. We don't really want to be fighting more than 2 heroes. More than 1, ideally, but... And you can see, if I was playing Sonya or someone like that, I would be constantly going to a lane and getting that soak and that experience quickly. But Artanis is super, super gankable, and that's why I want to be kind of hidden on the map as much as possible, so the enemy team has less information about me. Good push going on in the middle lane, or maybe not. You can look for an ult, because our ult is global. Now I just hope we don't get rotated on. Alright, we gotta be quiet. Be super duper quiet. Alright, we're totally fine. We get out of here. We live, right? She ults that? Okay. Yeah, so we have no escapes, and that's why we are super duper susceptible to ganks. Gonna go ahead, head top lane to help out my allies. Or defend my building, nonetheless. Oof. That's rough. I'm gonna go ahead and ult on her. No way she lives, right? Okay. Okay, Whatever, kid, you're dead. I'm bad. I thought my ult revealed them, and that's why I pressed my R on them, but apparently it does not, so... The more you know. Oh, what a rat. I feel like this whole game I've just barely been missing on my swaps. Surely D.Va's gonna try to swap it. Oh, barely not able to hit her in time. Minions should demount her, or demech her rather. Oh, I'm missing that swap is brutal. I know I'm not talking a lot, but it's because there's not much to talk about. That should finish him. We'll press our R button on the D.Va. Hopefully that'll finish her off. Alright. Well, we get a... What is that? Triple kill in the bottom lane. From the skirmishing that we started. You can see our damage is just incredibly high. And our tankiness is decent. But we don't have the wave clear. That's why we're kind of trying to play to your advantages. I've talked about this in the other videos, but you just play to your advantages. I know I'm good at taking camps as Artanis, so I'm trying to take some camps. I know that I'm good at hero damage, so I'm trying to find picks and skirmishes as much as possible. I know I'm bad at wave clear, so I'm trying to allow my teammates to fill in that gap rather than myself do that hard work. There we go, picking up another kill. Furthering my stacks. Our basic attacks are now dealing an absurd amount of bonus damage. And then checking the timings on camps, because there's not a whole lot for me to do right now. Except maybe land a swap. Don't really want to be fighting them under tower. That's always a silly play. But with the artillery from my Probius, it's working, you know. Making sure to pick up those regen globes because we are a little tankier for my allies, so we can kind of act as that pseudo tank in team fights. And we want to be taking globes whenever possible for them because of that reasoning. Artanis doesn't have a whole lot of tech. I kind of tried showcasing the backward swap a few times. I missed it every time, I think. But then another good tech for Artanis is whenever to get the most amount of damage output, you want to auto and then use your W. So see if I can do it here. So we're gonna auto W because it resets the cooldown of your auto attack. So you're able to auto attack faster. Absolutely sniping that building very quickly with the help of the siege camps. And there's really not much left on the map for me to do. Our Probius and Sylvanas have done a great job of clearing the lanes for me. And even still, we have second highest soak in the game because we've just been trying to position ourselves in the right position. And also, we've been getting a lot of the picks and a lot of the kills in this game. Which is how you want to kind of snowball this hero. Look for Karazim on his way over here. Can I swap that? Hey, there we go. We'll press my R button on her, getting the kill, thankfully. Looks like that will be all we get though, unfortunately. Yeah, with D.Va's permanent hop, we won't get anything else. But nothing. Nonetheless, we killed the Nova. We lost no allies. We lost a little bit of HP, but nothing we can't regain back. I'm hoping. We're gonna lose this, but I think that's okay because I want to win this fight. Do I still kill her? Just keep fighting. Oh no, his ult's up again. That's a shame. Alright, let's see. I think I win this. Yep, just keep fighting. If your shield is up, I believe it acts as a, like, I cannot die ability. So you're guaranteed to get a shield. Even if you hit 1 HP, you're guaranteed to get that shield. So sometimes it's just a matter of just keep fighting. Most of the time, that's what you need to do whenever you're playing this hero. Keeping an eye on that fight, but I also wanted to kill the building if that was a possibility. That'll kill her, and then... Oh, missing my swap there will allow him to live. If I land my swap, he dies, and we continue the process of pain. Alright, I want to go back in now. There we go. Obliterating him with a nice cheeky swap. Like I said, if you're able to land your swaps, you're going to be able to win the game as this hero. Missing my swap. If I land it, he dies. Unfortunate. So definitely Artanis is a hero that I could use some fine-tuning polish on. Game is nearly ending here. Owie, that hurts a lot. Gotta make sure we're auto-attacking to get that shield. Cooldown reduction. Good heals by my allies, by the way. And damage by them, too. And with that, it looks like we have suffocated the enemy team into a loss. So, we end the game with a lot of stacks. I'll talk about that build at the end. But we were playing to our strengths that game. Compared to the other heroes that we have played in this series, our siege is so low. But our hero damage is very high. The highest in the game. So we were brawling with heroes whenever we got a chance, trying to get those picks, but not so much had we been wave clearing. We were not really wanting to do that. Gonna go ahead, review the build now, so that you can play along at home. This is the build I go in most of my games. It can fluctuate, and I do know that there are other builds that are better for counterplay, but this is just a very consistent build that I've found. So we go for Protector of Ire at level 1, making our basic attacks deal an absurd amount of damage by the end of the game. We then go for Sonic Synergy, so hitting the enemy hero with our phase prism will grant us 30 armor for 5 seconds. That's a long time with a decent chunk of armor. Then we go for Chrono Surge, which hitting the enemy hero with our phase shift will grant us 40 attack speed for 5 seconds and slow the target by 30% for 4 seconds. This talent, in my opinion, is a little too overtuned. I think that the slow needs to be on a shorter length, because if you're able to land a swap on a hero and stack this talent with later talents, you can have them permanently slowed at 30% movement speed. It's broken. It's so good because it allows you to land swaps easier and allows your allies to land other abilities easier as well. I went for Purifier Beam, which this is the one that I actually don't go in most of my games. Typically, I go for the Suppression Pulse because, like I said, you want to be drafting Artanis against auto-attack focused heroes. They really didn't have too much auto-attack damage that scared me. So I felt that I would rather have the pick potential and the ult reset potential with Purifier Beam. So that's why I went that. Then go for Gravitational Vertex, which is the biggest power spike you will get with this hero. So you reduce the mana cost of your E from 50 to 25, and hitting an enemy hero with a basic attack or your Q will reduce the damage, or will reduce the cooldown of your E by 2 seconds. It just allows you to pummel enemies with an E after an E after an E, which is, if you remember, granting you armor and attack speed and slowing the enemy hero. It's so strong, and it's when you're allowed to just kind of play a little more aggressively and willy-nilly, because a lot of times it's just like, I'm gonna right-click this hero and press E. We'll see who wins. And more often than not, Artanis comes out on top. I then go for Blades of a Templar, which is what I go in most circumstances. Even if they have a lot of tanky heroes, I find that the increased attack speed helps out a tremendous amount. because it lets you get more shields up, because your shields is where you get your tankiness from. Remember, basic attacks reduce the cooldown of your shield. So if we're able to basic attack that slight bit faster, you'll get your shields up a little bit quicker, which allow you to survive more often. So that's why I like this town a little bit better. Then I go for Target Purified. It increases the, once again, this is a talent that I would typically just go the upgraded other ult, which grants me 2 charges of blind, because that's just mostly what I play is Suppression Pulse. But this ability that we went for, it increases the movement speed of your Purifier Beam by 15%. If the target of Purifier Beam dies, it automatically recasts on the nearest visible enemy hero, which allows you to reset and kill these heroes so much easier. That 15% movement speed plus they're 30% slow on a hero means if you land a swap and press an R on a hero, they are almost just every time gonna die. Doesn't matter if they're a tank, support, bruiser, they're gonna get shredded so quickly. So that was Artanis. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Please let me know down in the comments if there's anything that I missed, if there's stuff you liked, didn't like. I love chatting about it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.